The spring split is finally kicked off, and my goodness, we got a lot to talk about today. Woo! It's first touch. Dazzler, roll this, and T-Bates. Get them on the screen right now. My goodness gracious. First of all, okay, everybody's looking good today. Look, Raul, I don't know if you guys know, Raul, he's been in the gym. He's been doing a lot of work. You can kind of see it in the shoulders. He's looking broad, and you can see Bates looking smooth, clean, fresh as always. Got the do-rag on for the do-rag takes. Gentlemen, how we doing today?
I feel good. I feel great. It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
I'm ready to get into some of these topics. T-Base, you came in with a lot of energy this morning. I love it, baby. I love it. You got us going. What's up with you?
I'm glad I woke you up, because clearly you need to be woken up, because why are you wearing a tank top? Can you put on an actual shirt, please, sir? Listen, I understand you got 9-pack now. You got 9-pack. You've been in the gym. Hopefully someday soon you can put on YouTube channel, help people, give some fitness advice, because clearly you've been working. I see you've been working, and that's good. That's good that you've been working on the physical. While he's been working on the physical, Bates has been working on the mental. For those of y'all who don't know, I am in law school and I'm locked in. It's finals week. Oh my God, I'm taking a final right after this. I need everybody wish me nothing but the best of luck as I try to make sure I don't fail. But anyways, outside of that, I'm feeling good. I had a lot of Rock League over the past weekend. We got a great guest coming on very, very shortly. And of course, I'm with the boys. There's nothing but energy here on First Touch. Actually, 2 years to the date of, I believe, our 6th episode ever. Before we get into the video, I just have to let all of you know that over 50% of our viewers, 50%, are not subscribed to the channel. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help to get there. So please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and enjoy the video.
2 years to the date to our 6th episode ever.
No, wait, hold on. Yeah, I think it is the 6th date. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good with that math.
We got to, okay, I'm going to start following these two, just so we know. Look, we got strangers in the chat. Court is in session. That's what he's saying. It might be, but you know what? Just because of that, we need somebody. We got a lot of energy. We need to bring somebody on that's going to be able to also bring that knowledge in case we start yapping just too much. So we brought the Chiefs on to the show today. Michael, it's good to see you.
Come on, baby.
Cheese, are you muted
Guys,
somewhere?
I pressed the mute button. I ruined it.
Everybody's always muted. Everybody's always muted. Last week, Noli was muted initially. Now Cheese is muted. Can everybody hear everybody?
All right,
I hope so we don't have another issue like that again. Michael, do your intro again.
I'm excited. I've looked forward to being on First Touch during the middle of a split, I guess, because I've only ever been on them at the shows. So now it's good to be here. I'm ready for this. That was a whole energy. I'm in for it.
That's right. Listen, we're gonna start it off hot. Let's talk about the Spring Open. Obviously, congratulations to Complexity winning. We'll talk about them a little bit. Roll! What happened?
Oh, no. Hold on, wait. What did I say?
No, he's gonna walk off. He's gonna walk off. Oh, wait. It
is snuck under. No, Bree, you'll be her right back here, because we're gonna need to talk about it. FaZe Clan reverse swept to record a second ninth place finish to start the split. Oh no, he's crying.
Where's the FaZe pack? Let's see what FaZe did over the weekend. Let's see what they did. Roll the FaZe white, beautiful. That's made by J-Ski. Shout out J-Ski, by the way. Let's look at. Oh yeah. Hey, I was on this stream. Oh yeah.
I was on this stream.
Atomic. Listen, a lot of people were doing a lot of yapping about FK being better than Atomic and all that nonsense. Well, listen, Massimo let him know. He let him know. Yeah, he let him know. Well, he wasn't this serious. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. Trust me. We got a couple clips, hopefully, that happened throughout this whole entire thing that you'll see where Atomic was absolutely handled business. But Raul, to get to this point, for those who don't know, FaZe was playing SSG in the upper bracket, dropped it. I believe you got reverse swept.
Yeah.
Got reverse swept. And then you have to go up against G2, and a lot of people immediately kind of G2 out, but when Atomic touchdown passes like that, I don't know if you can beat him. Ro, talk to us. FaZe going down once again, 9th, 2 first regionals back-to-back. What are the thoughts? What's going on in the FaZe camp? Oh my gosh, look at him.
Listen. you see a shooting star every once in a while, and I think
Is
this
that a
is a
shooting
test
star?
to that. We
I don't think it
just
is.
say this is a shooting star for G2 to actually finally beat us, to SSG to finally beat us. This is all that is. We're just trying to repeat what we did in split 1, which is, you know, it's a little bit of deja vu. And come next split, you know, we'll be fine. But like, this was a mishap. Comms was down. Everybody, it was just like we was just not in sync. And again, it's the underestimation. We came in a little too overconfident, not playing the game enough. It is what it is. And yeah, I think my boys need to get slapped in the face before they actually start to
that's a physical.
getting their bag.
One thing I'd like to bring up is FaZe Clan's save percentage was abysmal, like bubble team level abysmal. Last in the
Also, their
event
shooting
at
percentage.
42.31%. The highest in a single series they had was 44%. Now, just to let you guys know, the region average is 60.58%. And in the event before, FaZe's season was 66.23%. The defense was not there, Chiefs.
Neither was the offense, honestly. I mean, you talk about the defense not being there. The other part of it is the weak offense, at least compared to what they normally do. They had 49 shots against Space Station's 29, a shooting percentage of only 22% compared to their season average of around 27, while SSG was shooting 37%. League average is 22.4%. Against G2, they still had around that 22% shooting percentage. So, to be honest, it looked like FaZe kind of played, I hate to say it, Raul, it was a league average team. And Space Station and G2, they beat league average teams. You had a bad weekend. Sepical was a little bit off, leaky in the midfield with the challenge game. And it was just like, you let him through for free too many times, and then, of course, you follow through. Oh, it's terrible.
I'm not gonna lie, you getting cooked right now.
It was just a bad week. That's what Raul said. It was not a good week, and it looked like it. And the numbers show it, and some of the gameplay shows it all across the board. No one could shoot the ball right. It was sad.
I think we found our Brian Windhorse. For all my NBA fans, you know about that. And you know about that, Raul. You gotta need to come back to that. He called you an average team this past weekend.
But you know, there's no bounce back. We were painfully average. I mean, it shows, man. Went down, getting reverse sweep, reverse swept. Like, we're just, yeah. We beat those teams. We need to beat those teams in order. Like, we were second at the major. We are that caliber of team. We just didn't show out. And yeah, we weren't grinding the game. And while we weren't grinding the game, other teams were. We got slapped. Like, there's nothing else to it. We just got slapped.
So I have to ask you, without saying too much, obviously, what's like that conversation like for FaZe Clan? Like, you know, you guys get, obviously, you know, we talked about the performance there, but what happens at the end of all that in terms of like what you guys talk about?
Well, kind of sat there and I was kind of just discussing that we know exactly how we should be playing, and this wasn't it. We need to get on the game. Some of the players have been taking too much of a break and not taking it as serious. I think complacency is big for our team, and we get something that we haven't achieved before, which is a second place. It was just like all right, sigh of relief. We finally got past that fourth clan. Yeah, and then it was just like, all right, bro, but like you got to keep striving for more. Just like keep striving for more. Keep making sure that we make it to the major at least before we start to take our foot off the gas just a tiny bit. Once we get back to the major, blare the foot back on the pedal and actually take a W, because like
foot?
Yeah. We gotta step on it, man. Step on
Foot.
it.
Lead foot on the pedal. They need to hit the gas. You're right about that. Cause FaZe is now sat at, I believe, let me check the points. FaZe is sat at 10 points for the split so far, and that means you got a lot of work to do, Raul.
Long way to go.
A lot of work to do, and you can't afford another choke, another knife, and you're gone. You're out of there. Toodaloo. You better.
That's right.
So it's gonna be interesting to see.
And as FaZe Clan are falling off, there are players that are stepping up. Let's go talk about OpTic for a little bit. Green Wall stands tall. I do want to see a package here. We got a special package because there's a man on this OpTic Gaming team that was performing over the course of the event. You see him highlighted in the green right there. Look at this, AJ. Look at that great control. Chicago, what are you doing? He's got you beat. Bottom left corner slot to be able to start things off. When you talk about a player that needs to kind of step up, this was also against G2 in that matchup. Baze, you can decide to not look at this if you want to. I totally understand. Then of course, you saw the Space Station Gaming match. Freedom there for AJ. Look at that scoreline, 5-0. This was an OpTic Gaming team that going into this event, not a lot of people necessarily had in terms of their potential to make even a top 5 this event. But when you have a player that's playing like AJ, that's able to whittle past 2, dodge a bump for Chronic, get a flip reset against Nola to that top corner. These are nice. This is the performance that is super solid. Yeah, I sent these clips to our editor, Kier Kernoin. They definitely did a very good job working here. I mean, look at that angle. Sharp. Look at that angle. Like, AJ's performance here, especially against Gen G, I mean, it felt like the AJ show, so to speak. Even these plays, look, right off the kickoff, you see Chronic on the ground, AJ's coming off the ceiling, Chronic has no idea where he's at, and then that follow-up to beat Jack, he absolutely exploded when the team needed to. It should have been. This was the game. AJ, I believe, had 4 goals, over 1,000 points this game, and the team still lost just a little bit of an overextension. And look at this, chain dash, this was so perfect, gets the light touch, had 70 boost when he went into the use. That was a perfect use of boost on this play by AJ.
This is terrible defense.
Terrible defense.
Apparently, Jack probably should have challenged right there.
There's nothing going on here. I mean, I'm just confused.
And then these are the numbers here from AJ over the course of the tournament. Unbelievable. 77% goal participation. He had 100% in the series against Gen G. AJ showed up and showed out and put on kind of a LeBron-like performance role.
Yeah, you see what he's wearing right there? It's FaZe Clan, man. Look, greatness always happens on FaZe Clan.
Where's the OpTic jersey?
We didn't get that picture yet.
We
don't have that picture yet. We need you to send us a photo.
But this kid was actually incredible this weekend. AJ, there was one series where he was kind of lacking, and it shows when he is not on, OpTic is going to struggle. If the other two aren't playing beyond optimal, like they're playing beyond their expectations, OpTic's gonna struggle without AJ. That Gen G series, he needed help. He was LeBron James against the Warriors. Like, he needed help. Like in that Gen G series, it was just wrapped. It was just AJ show. AJ took over the whole game, and Gen G was struggling to stop AJ single-handedly. They 4-1. They are obviously 4-1. So it was definitely a dominating performance from Gen G. But if AJ just got a little bit of help, that could go to 7. OpTic could probably take that game, that series.
I'm gonna look at something real quick, but you're not wrong. Like, OpTic, AJ did play incredibly well, and I have a sneaking suspicion that as soon as I check on this, because I should have put this part in my prep, but I want to see how many demos Reddles got against Gen G.
I will say Reddles, I remember D-Right giving me the stat about Reddles saying that he is leading all-time demos in the league right now, which means worldwide has the most demos this season so far. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah, lots of bumps, lots of demo plays there from Reddles to get involved.
20-14. Okay. Sorry, I'm cooking out loud. You can keep going.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. AJ had, I believe, 30 goals this tournament, the most he's had this season. 13 assists, which was tied for his most in Fall Open. Not that many saves at 37, and then 94 shots, but his shooting percentage was the highest, and his goal participation was second highest to Fall Cup. So, good performance there from AJ, and
good performance. Don't forget about the other guys though. Magic Bear and Reddles both played really well the whole entire weekend. The Gen G series, AJ stepped up. Magic and Reddles didn't have their best performance. And going off of those 2 clips of them goals, Gen G was conceding. All they need to do is do something, just apparently to shoot the ball to the net, because Gen G seemed a little confused in that series. But
nobody's expecting AJ to be able to take shots like that.
You can see him. I can see him off the ceiling. I'm watching him. I'm looking at him.
You're getting scored on, Bates. Like you're in that field. You're getting scored on.
What? How am I getting scored on? But I do have a ceiling. I can see him. Like what? Abjack, be ready.
Jack might have been able to see him.
Yeah, I don't think Chronic's on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm confused why Abjack was so delayed on the play. But listen, Abjack had a little bit of sickness. I'm gonna give that to that. Abjack's a great defender. That usually won't happen. AJ absolutely performed. I think he was the best player of the weekend in my estimation.
I guess he was number 1 in rating. He was 1.22. so you can't really say he wasn't.
Well, you can. But I'm talking about eye test too. I just thought he was the best player. But Reddles and Magic also played
They did.
really well.
I liked Magic Bear.
Really,
Thought that
really
guy was
well.
lights
And
out.
I think this OpTic team, they're a candidate. They're in prime position. Now they're sat at, how many points are they sat at? They're sat at something. They're sat at 16 points. So, and FaZe is actually technically sat at 6. You don't count the Spring Cup just yet. So 16-6, they're in position to really make some noise happen. So it's going to be interesting to see what this OpTic team does moving forward.
Yeah, it does. Right now, in a good spot to make the major, sitting at 3rd place right now. Again, just having to continue to keep that performance up, and we'll definitely see too, because the spring split does work a little bit more interesting than all the other ones. We have obviously the next regional Spring Cup that happens next week, but then there's like that break, which is I think like a month long between Spring Cup and Spring Invitational. Lots can happen within a month for these players, but right now, OpTic Gaming in a good spot. Teams that might not be in the best spot, but are doing okay right now. G2 and Furia, as both of them are sitting at 5th for G2, 6th for Furia. And the question is, you know, top 6 performances definitely solid here. But when it comes to the level of competition and knowing that there's teams like FaZe Clan under them and version 1 under them, the question is, will they be able to bounce back and really put themselves in a major conversation of Chiefs?
So I don't know if that's the right way to think about it, right? Because, like, I actually kind of, like, expect G2 to be one of those top teams and not even be in this conversation. So I think kind of like FaZe get knocked down early in a bad spot and then you just don't make the run. At least they got deep enough that, you know, it kind of hurt a little bit less. But for me, I think it's Furia, the team that kind of has to be like, hey, we're still that team, right? Because, like, Complexity came in, they had a really good show and then dipped off, and now they're back, and now you're kind of looking at Furia to be like, okay, do the same thing. So I really want Furia to be that team to make that real comeback, and G2, I mean, it was just a rough start, and you didn't make it all the way back. So I don't know if I really count them as the time to bounce back, but I guess they're the right choice, right? Like, they probably will.
Well, what's your take?
Yeah, I still don't have faith in Furia. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
so
fair.
I don't.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't think Furia will bounce back, but like I think I'm with Achieves here that G2 will be the team. Like, they shouldn't even be in this conversation. I think G2 is one of the top 5 teams in North America that will make this major.
What kind of question is this? Are we just talking about Fury and G2?
Well, I don't think just Fury and G2. I think it's just like they're put there at the bottom, but of course there's like obviously FaZe, version 1 that are in those conversations.
Can you put Space Station there because they didn't make the last major?
Well, I feel like for Space Station Gaming, they finished top 3, so I don't know if it does count as a bounce back, especially considering that their roster that they got now was widely considered a downgrade to the one that they had before.
Since we're talking about all these teams later on, I guess I'll just talk about G2 and Furia. I mean, G2, there's nothing to bounce back from. They already got 11 points. They're already there. Furia, they also have 11 points. So I think they're both could be just fine.
It's a long road, though.
I think it's a long road.
Got a lot more to prove, right? Because you make that roster swap to Lost, it's still kind of been hit or miss. So yeah, but you know, they again had, I think, probably Furia's worst matchup round 1 against Gen G. Like, I don't think they ever really played particularly well against Gen G, but they had some good shows like 3-0 Dignitas, 3-0 version 1, 3-0 Sup. Like, they were running, and then they ran into Space Station Gaming, who was playing incredibly well that weekend. So like, I think it's very doable for Space Station. They beat a lot of teams that you feel like, okay, if you're beating these teams, then you're going to be in major contention, right?
Bates, correct me if I'm wrong, do you have Fury making the major?
Bro, I'm not answering that question, bro, because we have a question later on.
That's
about
true.
That question. I'm not answering.
No spoilers.
I'm not answering that question.
I had Fury making the major when we did the pre-show.
You're talking about initially that I have them? I didn't have them, but we're also revisiting.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, we'll move on then. Let's talk about version 1 here, or version 3, because this is about the 3rd iteration of version 1 that we've seen so far. Is it time to hit the panic button? Version 1 swept by Complexity and Furia. Let's roll the V1 tape. Version 1, not the best showing. This was the first tournament in the RLCS with Daniel. Of course, if you've seen some of the offseason events, you were able to see what this team looked like in a 3v3 environment. Yeah, Raul, how do we feel about version 1's opening performance?
Honestly, I didn't get to see most of this as I was dealing with my own own roster, but I don't think it's time to hit the panic button at all for this team. This team is too mechanically gifted. They just need to figure it out mentally and the cohesion, build chemistry with each other. in order for this team to be successful. Again, we had Furia. They didn't perform well last split, and now they're looking a little bit better, and they could take advantage of this team that just formed together. I think it's going to take a little bit to get Beast Mode, Daniel, and Calm on the same page. Specifically, Beast Mode and Daniel. Them two want to be superstars on a specific team, but one ultimately has to do more impact, or have more impact, and be able to reign freely on the ball than the other. So it's kind of meshing those two superstars together.
Seeing this achieves your take on the V1's opening performance.
So I'm also with Roldiz here. I don't think it's quite time to panic. You know, they just formed on April 8th. They played like only the Steel Series Cup and the draw and Gamers Without Borders. So a couple things, and there were some good matches. You know, they had wins, FAZE, G2, Complexity, and some losses to Fury and Complexity as well. So I think I'm with Raul. It's just you need a little more time to really iron out how they want to get there. Yes, you'd kind of like to see those immediate results, but that can always be, you know, touch and go for some teams, and I think they're still just figuring it out. Once they do, they'll probably be quite dangerous. So you're just looking for like some of those misdirection plays that you have Gen G, and once they understand how they like to move the ball around, I think that offense is going to level up, because Roldiz is right. They're incredibly mechanically talented. They just have to have a little more time to dial it in.
Yeah, D-Rex saying V1 is in a little bit of danger if they don't pick it up. Number 6 in NA is relatively safe for Worlds, but with OpTic and SSG's runs, version 1 is a lot closer to falling to 7 than they were. So a little bit of pressure, but is enough to hit the panic button, Bates.
Well, it depends how you define a panic. If you want panic to be like, if panic is scope is contained to being making a major, then no, I don't think it's really a necessity that they make the major. But if panic is scope is contained to making sure that they're in a good position to still make the world championship, then I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it looks like, because they've got teams that are nipping at them. The teams that are nipping right at them, and I think there needs to be a little concern, a little pause for concern. You know what I'm saying? Because V1 to make Worlds, they didn't make the last major, to make the first one, and if they end up having a bad split this time around, and then OG keeps going on, it really, I would say it's a little bit of panic. I think they make a move for Beast Mode. They haven't done necessarily well in any tournament they played in so far, huh?
What do you mean a move for? Like,
they made a move. They made a move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they made a move for Daniel. They made a move to be in contention to win a world championship. That's what I believe they did. They're not doing it at the moment. Still series. I don't know what they finished in that. Wasn't first or second. So what else they played? The draw didn't finish first or second in that either. And then in this, you're bowing out. You're getting swept by Fury. I'm watching the gameplay. It doesn't look good. It looks a little suspect, to say the least.
The problem against specifically Fury and Complexity is they're two incredibly high-paced teams. They have very, very fast follow-up, and they know how to move the ball quickly between each other. And I think a team like version 1 that's still ironing it out, when there's that little bit of hesitation, a team like Fury, a team like Complexity can absolutely just run right through you. That's kind of the issue, I think, with those two in particular.
So you're saying it's a matchup difference?
I mean, I think in this particular weekend where they got ran over by Complexity and Fury, yeah, I think so.
What are you going to say, Raul?
I was going to say, I think it's crazy to me that we kind of expected, or a lot of fans and people speculated, that this Beast Mode and Daniel, they would be pre-jumping each other and doing all the things that we seen them do.
Who speculated that?
And bro, there were so many people. There was so many people.
I'm throwing Mr. Stumpy Goblin under the bus on that one.
Stumpy, look,
He
Stumpy's
was
like, I can't wait for
so highly of this team.
I can't wait for this super
didn't-
team to start pre-jumping each other, and they're gonna dominate RLCS.
Well,
Bro,
you need
it takes
first
so
killer for
much
that.
more than that.
Well, you need a third. You got a good third, but you need a great third. You need one of the best in the world. You need a super team.
I think you need a solid third.
Calm's a solid
if you
third.
want that.
Calm is a
Calm's
solid
solid.
You need,
third.
like, the best solid third, right?
The best solid.
Nah, I think
third.
you need the best. I think you need the best, so you have the utmost confidence. I think the panic depends on what. To go back to the question, I think the panic really depends on what they want out the move. If they want the move to just be a long-term move, then I don't think they're panicking at all, because they understood it. But from what I would see, you pick up Daniel, I would assume you want to make the world championship contend. So I would assume there'd be a little bit of Gotta figure it out. Need to be on top of everything. We can't mess up this next regional. Otherwise, world championship out the picture, etc. If that's what it is, then I say they're panicking. If the move for Daniel was long term, we want to compete for world championships in the future.
It's never long term. It's never long term. We will not see the same iteration of roster next year. We won't see the same roster.
Oh well, you'll see Daniel in beast mode. You know, 100% know that.
That's
a long-term move.
Maybe. What if they never mesh?
Ah, they ain't going nowhere. They could be together. they gonna be together.
You take that prediction.
Why you pick up a player like Daniel, right? Because a lot of people think, yeah, he's this mechanical wizard, but is that why you picked him up? You know, because there's a couple different ways to be a mechanical wizard, right? Like a lot of people think First Killer is a mechanical wizard, but if you look at how FaZe plays, he doesn't actually use mechanics all that much. His biggest asset is his speed, how he gets around the pitch and shuts people down, and then he's got the mechanics to recover quick, right? He doesn't have to go break people down. So do you want a mechanical wizard like Daniel to actually go and 1v2 people in the air like you see Yanks do a couple majors ago, right? Is that what you want out of him? Or do you want somebody who can get in there and disrupt with how fast they are and how quickly they recover mechanically? And that's the big difference maker between a player like... that's the big difference maker about why teams would pick a player up like Daniel. Do they understand the difference between those two?
Chiefs, I got a question for you. Playstyle wise, describe Beast Mode and then describe Daniel. Playstyle wise, like how are they separate? How are they different?
Well, I know Beast Mode is mechanical, but I think the biggest difference, he has really solid timing on his challenge. Daniel, I think he strikes me. I actually don't really get the mechanical wizard vibe. I personally don't think he's the go break people down, 1v2, 1v1 in the air. So I don't necessarily think that that's the right fit for Daniel. And the difference between him and Beast Mode, I actually feel like they kind of fulfill sort of the same role, or at least they should fulfill the same role. Because I don't view Daniel as this, I go break people down. So I think you've kind of got two people doing the same thing. I don't know if there is much of a difference in my head about what they both bring.
I think that's really interesting. Numbers wise, Daniel's tournament for version 1, his opening tournament in terms of goals, assists, saves, and shots is the worst he's had all season. Not the worst shooting percentage. His first event, he had 15 goals and 72 shots. This time he had 7 goals out of 30 shots. Looking at the Furia matchup, especially, it was one that I walked back and kind of like looked at the replays. It definitely did feel like a little bit of misunderstanding on the field. You saw a lot of Furia. You talked about it achieves that aggression, them not being afraid to push the ball forward, versus Daniel, who kind of was in a third man role a lot of times, kind of being abused in that third man role by Yin, especially.
Yeah, and you look at a player like Zen, right? Like Zen on Vitality, he's a mechanical guy that can go break people down, but that's not necessarily how he fits into that roster, right? Like Zen, he can break people down, but the value is he's that deep third man, and when he's got that space, when he catches that long clear, then he's going to drive up the pitch that one time he's got the space and he'll make something happen, right? And that's kind of where the mechanical wizard, the magician, should be, right? Mm-hmm. That's where I don't know that either Beast Mode or Daniel has quite that skill set, and that's kind of, I think, the big difference. So like you want a player like that to be in that role, where I don't know if either Daniel or Beast Mode fit right there, if that makes sense.
So you're saying they need a third man?
Well, they need a magician in third man. They need a really strong, I just crush people, right?
Wait, hold on, because Daniel, I think, was playing that role on SSG. Pretty much started his career kind of.
Yes.
Because Sypical was the guy at first for SSG, and then so then they replaced Sypical. Well, Sypical leaves, and then they replace Sypical with Daniel, who then takes the same exact role that Sypical had, which was a third man, dominant.
Yes.
And he would take the ball into the air, play it a bunch.
And you think about who his two teammates were, right? Arsenal and Reddles, who are both very aggressive in different ways, I think. I think Arsenal is a little more aggressive out of corner. He likes to get on a goal box and demo people, where I think Reddles is a bit more effective physically in the midfield and opening up that space. But the problem with Space Station and Daniel, when you had two people that are very aggressive like that, he doesn't have a whole lot of options, right? And that's kind of the value of how Zen fits in on Vitality. He's got options, right? Alpha also very mechanical, Zen very different type of mechanical, but they space out. They get the ball to each other. Whereas if you have someone driving into the corner trying to open up space, Reddles is out there demoing in the midfield, it just leaves Daniel on an island, right? And if he's not quite that I break people down by myself, it doesn't work regardless of how, just by the nature of how his two teammates play the game. It's good to try and give him the space, but when it's not happening, or even if he just goes up for an air dribble and gets like bumped off the ball or something, well, then it's all gone away, right? It's all completely wasted. So I don't necessarily know if just because he was in that role, I don't know if he's got the skill set, one, to quite be that type of player, and two, his two teammates, it doesn't allow a lot of options for him to move the ball once he's in the air because of how they play, right? And that's the other aspect of that kind of position. Can you facilitate the ball to where it needs to go?
That's true.
Yeah.
What I would say with that is that I think he does have the mechanical ability to do it. I think he exceeds that. But the question is what I got from what you're saying is he comfortable doing that? I think that's the question. I think he has very much the ability to sit there third man and be really efficient, but it's whether or not he really wants to do that. Is that how he wants to play Rocket League? Is that what he should be doing for the team? And that's the question.
You're essentially looking for Justin. Like that's what Justin used to do, right?
Yeah, and that's the question that remains to be answered. V1, we're looking at you.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. My opinion on this. For the rest of the season, just to answer the Panda Book question, I would say yes. I think like version 1 is a organization, in my opinion, and they can all correct me if I'm wrong, that wants to be at these majors, that wants to be at these lands. Remember, we were used to seeing the V1 fans come walk around, having their viewing parties, thing like that, coming around, giving everybody scarves and stuff. They didn't do that this season. They did it in Rotterdam. They missed one. They said, okay, we're not missing another one. So let's pick up Daniel. They make this move to pick up Daniel. Now, wait, where are we sitting at? We sitting at 7th place tied with FAZE? Like, the competition is getting higher. And version 1 don't have that much time to figure it out. Now, they might be blessed, to be honest, a little bit with the way the spring is working, that we're not playing games back-to-back. Like, regionals are back-to-back. They got that month to where they can really refine themselves between Spring Cup and Spring Invitation, but they got to have a good Spring Cup. Because if they don't, then the road's going to be a lot harder. And that Spring Invitation, where everybody's going to be grinding and things are definitely going to switch up. So for me, I think it's that. If they don't make the Spring Major, and they definitely, like, not even close to top 5 in the rankings for Spring, then I think that the World Championship does come into question here as well for them. So, yeah, I'm hitting the panic button. Get it together. Get it together, because you don't got that much time.
That's crazy. He hit the panic button so fast on V1, but he sat through the longest energy and then hit no button. No buttons whatsoever. It's insane. Let's move us along. That's all I got to say to that. You fraudulent individual.
That is crazy.
Anyway, since we're talking about Daniel,
that's crazy.
SSG has their best performance in a whole entire split. With Hoxer on the team in place with Daniel. SSG finished, I believe, 4th. And V1, they finished 9th or something like that. Let's roll the SSG package. And the question we got to ask everybody is, was Daniel the problem for SSG, for Space Station Gaming? Was he holding them back? That all LJ need was a different superstar? Desiree, since you're a changed man all of a sudden, you hit the panic button early. You can answer this question first.
Listen, my trauma turned me to the man I am today. It's called growth. And guess what? SSG also has growth too. LJ, he was sitting there and he couldn't do everything he wanted to do. Now you're seeing LJ, like, it feels like Daniel leaving unleashed LJ. LJ's stats in the spring are already better than they were in the winter. I could give you all the numbers if you need it, but I mean, you can just see it for yourself in these clips. It was the LJ show time and time again. I saw T-Base jumping in Twitch chats. LJ top 5! LJ top 5! LJ top 5! Are you happy, Bates? Because he's finally showing everybody what you were talking about all this time. He can have the space to work, and he has been able to create. Look at it, he pulls out two. Pulls out 2 there in a big game 6 in a lower bracket quarterfinals for SSG.
I mean, that's just
LJ was
defense.
showing up and showing out. It was, but
It's always just terrible.
It's always just terrible defense.
A lot of those come down to terrible defense. No, but, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the skill set that the player is making them miss, or just the
the player made him
unpredictability
jump.
that the player has in his rotation.
The player made both of them jump when you set the ball at the back wall right above their heads, and they said something they've seen 9 million times in ranked.
Miscommunication's a thing, Bates.
Well,
It's
then
true.
learn how to communicate. You scrim all day. Don't mess
Okay,
up.
look,
Don't
we can
mess
talk
up.
about all about how they feel, things like that. I sat down with Arsenal after the win to discuss a little bit about his teammates and how they impacted him. Let's take a look at that interview. Biggest new addition to the team. Talk to me about how Hoxer's been able to fit into the squad.
Well, Hoxer, like, even like in person, me and Hoxer, we've always been like cool together. Like, me and Hoxer came up in RLRS. I know many people might not know about RLRS, but it was kind of like the little league. So we came up together. We made our first LAN together. We really competed. Like, we were at our top together, like coming up and stuff like that. So me and Hoxer were always just like, oh yeah, we're kind of competing against each other, and we were closer than a lot of people think. So him on the team, like, he's just a cool guy. Like, I get the same vibes from LJ as I get from Hoxer. Like, they're both just really down to earth. Like, I know they always got my back. I know I have their backs. And even when things go wrong, we're able to bring it back because we have each other's backs. We know if someone makes a mistake or something happens, we can bring it back as a team. The series is never over.
Yeah.
So yeah, Hoxer's just a great guy, bro.
I mean, someone else who's been showing up for you guys has been LJ, especially. I think LJ probably having the best tournament of the season for him. But what's it like on the side playing with LJ?
LJ. I've always said that LJ is underrated. People were trying to like trash on him because we didn't have the best performances. But LJ is like insane. Like, even in twos and in the tournament, in this tournament, bro's popping off. Like, when LJ gets comfortable, I've been saying it for the longest, bro's gonna go crazy. LJ's comfortable. What is he doing? Bro's going crazy. So like, I mean, keep underrating LJ, keep underrating Hoxer if you want to, but like, they're proving how good they are, like, with each game, with each goal, with each tournament. So yeah, shout out to those boys.
Do you think that, you know, this new kind of team environment has had an impact on your personal performance? Because like, everybody from Space Station Gaming has been elevated, and a lot of people are starting to talk about this team soaring to new heights. But how does it feel for you?
For me specifically, like, it feels, I wouldn't even say it feels good, because like, when you're doing bad, everyone's kind of like hating on you, and they're like, oh, this guy's done, retired, and then once you start doing good, they here come the fans and stuff like that. But I know, like, my team will always support me. I know my true fans will always support me. So shout out to them, shout out my family, shout out my mom, shout out everyone who actually supports me. And I mean, I do feel better. I think it's showing in my gameplay, like that game winning save that I had, and then we got the little counter. Like, normally I just panic, I fly in the net. What is this kid doing? You kind of saw it in the Genji series. I was all over the place. I'm panicking on saves. But the more comfortable I feel, the more I'm able to show how good I am.
That was Arsenal after the win, I believe, against Furia. Raul, I mean, the SSG team from Arsenal, a lot of people, like we said, called it a downgrade. But in terms of Arsenal's opinion, it feels like it's an upgrade to him.
Yeah, this is just this comes down to just vibes and chemistry. Like, we talked about the vibes in the last couple of episodes, just the difference in strategy versus team chemistry and team atmosphere. It just goes a long way, especially when you have a player of the caliber of like Daniel. You're always trying to, you know how good he is, and as a player, you're trying your best to play for him, which, if he's not reciprocating energy well, where if you make a mistake, you feel like he's gonna attack you, or he's gonna look down on you, or just not respect your touches anymore, not trust you anymore, that affects your mental. And I think that's what SSG was going through for a long time. With this new iteration of Hoxer, previous teammate of mine, I've always been biased. I said this roster move was going to be an improvement. I even said that they would make the major. And look at them now. They're looking better than ever. It just goes a long way to show.
So you're saying Daniel was the problem?
Yes, Daniel was the problem.
Interesting.
So Daniel's making people feel like he can't trust him and says they suck.
Oh,
I don't think it's to that extent. I just think there's a lot of pressure playing with a kid like Daniel, and he's really young. A lot of hype went to him, which brings a lot of ego,
Pressure.
which could affect how he interacts with his team. That's all I'm going to say.
That's fair.
I want to one more thing about the interview. Bates, did you agree with Arsenal's thoughts on LJ being underrated?
I mean, yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think Daniel was the problem for SSG?
Before I answer that, I know some people were a little confused saying that they've seen that interview before. I'm glad y'all learned what a replay is in the year 2023. That's good. I mean, that's good to know that you don't know what a replay is. We have this thing called technology that allows you to replay things that you've already seen before. Just wanted to point that out because some of y'all were a little confused in the chat. But regardless of that, also Demar, I like the interview questions, but I'm confused at what you were looking at. I don't know what you're looking at. So can you smile when you get an interview? You show them pearly whites. People want to see it. Anyways,
Answer the question.
Anyways, I had to get those. No, those are my 2 comments I just had to make off the video. Well, I guess I made a couple comments, but those were the 2 I wanted to make off.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the question at hand. Was Daniel a problem for SSG? I got 2 people saying yes so far. A cheese. We haven't heard what you said.
I think it's personnel.
You said it's no.
Well, I think it was just. I don't think I already alluded to it a little bit earlier. I'm not sure the play style really fit what they need out of Daniel, right?
So he is the problem.
Well, I mean, I just think it wasn't a good team fit. That's
all
all.
right.
I don't think he was the problem per se. It's just that play style wasn't gonna work.
Interesting. Chiefs with a great politician answer. Listen, you're not running for office in Kansas. I'm gonna answer the question for him. He says he's the problem, basically. I don't think cute way of going about it. And now, here's where I come into play. Of course he wasn't the problem. What are y'all on? What are y'all on? SSG, that current roster just didn't work out. Daniel, the problem for SSG, the moment Daniel joined SSG a year and a half ago, they ascended. They became a better team. They missed the major. All the way back in fall 21-22, added Daniel, made major worlds. Then they made a major again. And then they missed out on one major. They have already finished top 4 multiple times this whole entire year. I think they finished top 4 every single time in the fall. They didn't just win. They had one down split with Daniel. One down split. He has been on the team for 4 splits. 3 of them are great, and he made a world championship.
Are we gonna act like before Daniel, SSG was trash? They were a good team before Daniel even joined.
Whoa. They were a good team.
They were good. There was no ascension. Like SSG was a good team.
No, they were clearly on the decline. They were clearly on the decline.
Just how Daniel was just on the decline with them.
No.
It's
RLCSX initially. See, now y'all got me busted on the historian cap. So listen, to represent that, I'll take off the hoodie. Okay, so RLCSX, Arsenal was one of the best players in the game. He was on with typical. That's all the way back in fall of 2020. Yeah, that's crazy. 2020. And then they ascended, and then they started declining. And I know they made the grand final of the RLCSX NA championship, but nobody expected that. They were like the 6th best team in NA at that point.
So you're gonna take that away from them?
Wait.
I'm not taking it away. That's just an anomaly. It shouldn't have happened.
It's an anomaly. So let's put this into perspective. How many regionals did SSG Gaming win with Daniel?
0.
They won before he was on the team.
When? Which regional did they win? In RLCS 21-22. They didn't win any.
Wasn't he on the team in 21-22?
Yeah, not in the winter and the spring.
Yeah, so we're talking about fall, but what about before that? Yeah, they were on the decline, but they were winning regionals in season X.
Yeah, when all the way back in fall.
In spring and regional event 2 against Envy.
That anomaly went with the machine.
Yeah,
That's the choke.
The machine
the fall. But you understand how you're bringing up things from 2 years ago. I'm talking about recently.
We're talking about the roster evolving.
Okay, yeah, and Daniel was not the problem on the roster. Daniel brought them to a top 3. Yeah, he was. He brought them to a top 3 in LA, which they weren't going to be
winning events, and they didn't win after he was on the team. How is he the solution?
Bro, what do you mean, bro? What are you talking about?
He hasn't won anything.
You have to win. Is that the only way? Is that the only way to define if somebody's? It's the only way to show that somebody isn't a problem is if they win. Hello.
I mean, hold on. If we're talking about Daniel before Zen, Daniel was one of the biggest hype ups names that we've ever seen in this game.
It's true,
right? Before Zen happened, Daniel was the guy. And he's not been criticized at all for not winning a single thing yet. We have FK, who's been criticized way more, and he was winning with Taroko and Turinturo. Okay, on Raw,
Back when RLCS
he
was
was
easier.
winning with. It doesn't matter. Daniel still hasn't won.
I'm confused. Just because you don't win, that makes you a problem.
Well, let me ask you, Bates, why do you make the roster swap?
Why you make the roster swap?
Yeah.
Because this roster, for whatever reason, wasn't working. Now put it on Daniel and
so
say
you
he was
make
the
the roster
problem.
swap.
It's not nonsensical. Daniel wanted to leave.
I don't think that.
I think all three. I think it's a whole entire team thing. They ain't all want to play with each other. They're all issues for based off their own individual. But to say Daniel was a problem for SSG is a stretch. Because Daniel brought SSG significance. He brought SSG success. He brought SSG. He raised SSG's popularity, the fan base, everything else. Daniel brought all that to SSG.
Before.
What?
Like,
They
you
did not
talking
have it
about
like that.
Reynolds and Arsenal on YouTube?
Okay, I understand that, but then you got Laniel chants happening in the venue. People wanting to go to see Daniel.
Yeah, and I remember that Winter Major. And I remember how it ended for him.
Okay, yeah, they end up losing to the Moist, who ended up being one of the best teams of the year. So I don't know what you're talking about. SSG was the top. SSG was the top. SSG was the solid top. What?
Solid top team.
Solid top team. I want to say like top 6, but then people are gonna say no. But on land, on land, they were about a top. Like I know online they weren't the best team, but on land they were a land team, and they always perform. So I don't understand.
I don't know. What, are you talking about with Daniel or with?
Yeah,
Super
with
Bowl?
Daniel.
Oh, okay.
With Daniel, they're like one of the best teams in the game. That's success. He's not the problem. That's putting too much. And just because they finished one top 4, which is the same result that they've already had 3 times this year.
But you're not going into that.
Result.
You're not going into that tournament telling me version 1 is finishing where they are and SSG are finishing where they are. You are thinking that those placements are reversed.
Okay, it's one tournament. That's why I didn't hit the panic button of V1. It's one tournament. We gonna see. It's also double elimination.
Actually, by your own words, it's been like 3 tournaments that they haven't performed well.
I'm talking about this tournament with the new version 1 to SSG. DeMar was saying that V1 was a team everybody expected to do well, better than SSG. And I would say if you polled everybody beforehand, he's right on that. But it's one tournament. We'll see what happens again. And SSG they didn't win, and they didn't even do better than they have in any of their previous events so far this year. So how is he the problem?
The players have on the team. I said
Like,
the players
I don't
have
know.
on the team. But go ahead, the Chiefs.
Space Station with Sipical was making runs, into playoffs during regionals, and they would generally get knocked out by whoever ended up winning. But
I'm talking about this iteration.
I understand. I'm just saying with Daniel, I think there's definitely a case to be made that Space Station may have been playing better with Sipical than Daniel. That's all I'm saying, because they were still placing quite highly with Sipical, even if they were on a decline. Even
relative
in RLCS
to the time.
2021, 2022. Like, I don't necessarily think that he improved them to as great a degree as you're saying he did. That's all.
I think T-Bates is saying that Arsenal was a better player. Like Typical had better pieces around him than Daniel did, relative to the time.
That's way back in the back. That's way back in the back. That's a different discussion. I'm talking about, was he the problem for this SSG team, which is the question. I would say no, he wasn't the problem. He was not the problem.
Sure.
He was not the problem.
Yeah, again, I just don't think it was a play style.
That's like
fit.
saying, was Chrome the problem?
I don't know about
because
that.
Chrome is not on the field.
I mean, he's a coach.
There's more of
coach?
an impact. Chrome's had its success on this roster before Daniel.
That is true.
So how can you bring in a
Time out.
player
You can
that's
have-
supposed
you
to
can
be an
have
actual
success.
superstar and a coach who's had success and then blame the coach because the roster with the new superstar is not working?
You can have prior success and still be a problem. Just because you have success doesn't absolve you from being a problem. But Chrome wasn't a problem anyways. I was just saying, just because SSG got
like
one top
saying
4
something.
doesn't mean that Daniel's the problem. He's not the problem. Not the problem.
Well,
SSG. I don't think they had a
It
problem.
just goes back to why do you make the roster swap? Because if you feel like you're not winning enough with Sipical, then you pick up the guy who you think's going to give you the best chance at winning, right? Because if you were already making deep runs with Sipical, and even when you're declining a little bit, you're still making playoffs. You get knocked out in the first round because it's single elimination. You think, okay, Daniel should give us a better shot to actually win, right?
And he
But you
did.
don't.
Last year, Daniel gave SSG a better chance to win than Typical. I don't
But
think
they
that's
didn't
arguable.
win. That's the point.
But it's hard to win.
Yes, it is.
I don't know,
it is.
man.
That's not a debate. It is hard to win.
It is hard to win. But, I mean, that man Sip, he moved on. He was making top fours, and then he was also, we just saw him in a major final.
A whole year and a half later on a different team.
Who did Sip
Because
play
it fit well. You also said Typical was a bad roster move there, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You're
Daniel
all over
wasn't
the
a
place,
problem.
Bates.
Daniel wasn't a problem.
All right. Let's move on, man. Let's talk about.
I actually agree. Anyway, that's not the point. Carry on.
Let's full vamos. Let's full vamos here. Let's talk about Complexity. We're in Complexity's world right now. They end up winning the Spring Open. AJG and Raise Bull win their first tournament since 2021. Let's roll the tape. Complexity doing so solid, and AJG definitely stepping up and having a solid performance. Roll this.
Yeah, this kid, we've seen it on Twitter. There's so many people that are saying this kid is the most improved player of this year so far. And honestly, what he's doing for this roster, it's not even just the shots that we're seeing right here. He's becoming more of a facilitator, disruptor offensively. Especially in the major, we felt his presence. We played them and they took us to a game 7. We felt his presence on the defensive side. This kid is honestly just in your face 24/7. He doesn't care. He trusts his 2 teammates behind him. And this honestly goes to a testament. We've known how good Raise Bull is. Raise Bull, I think, was one of the most improved players going into last year, at the end of last year. And then they add CRR, who, honestly, I don't think we give enough credit to. CRR just coming over from Europe, and this team has propelled in such a positive way. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Definitely, like going into Sunday, CRR didn't necessarily have like the best tournament for him. All of his stats were pretty low, but he definitely elevated. But regardless of where CRR was performing, you could tell the improvement between Raise Bull and AJG on the field, just being able to kind of step up. It was really interesting to watch them against Gen G, because on the other side of Gen G, Jack was not having like the best term because he was feeling sick, obviously. So you're just watching all the other players just elevating. I mean, look how crazy they are when they score that Game 6 overtime goal, Cheese. I mean, they definitely earned this major victory, or this regional victory. I'm sorry.
They worked hard. They were. I think they were definitely the best team that tournament. And I don't want to take that away from them for sure. I think they absolutely deserve to win. You're not kidding. AJG definitely, the presence is there. And I honestly think you undersell CRR a little bit. Like, sure, he's not the stat column, beast that AJG and Raise Bull were that series. But I think you do really have to be a complete team to go out there and beat everybody else. You can't just 2-man and have one guy kind of off, because you look at Jack, right? He was kind of off, and sure, they made it far, but they lost, right? You needed all 3.
Interesting. This is it's interesting you say the best team of the tournament there, Chiefs. Let's roll that next question there. Is Complexity right? Is Complexity the best team in North America?
Let me tell you this one first.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to announce on national Twitch television that Complexity is the best team in North America.
Oh no, okay.
They are.
Okay.
What is this?
They are. You know
recency
why?
bias?
You know why? Because they're the one who have won the most recent tournament, and it seems that everybody in NA at the top, they're being a little inconsistent. FaZe, you have a couple good tournaments, and then you drop out your bow out. That's not what the best team in North America is. Complexity, they're the definition of consistency. Consistency.
That's
Top
crazy.
4 ever since winter. Let's look at the results. Let's look at the results now.
Okay.
Ever since winter.
Where's my glasses?
They got second, top four. They finished top 4 at the major, and then they just won.
So
That is
winning-
consistency.
So winning accounts for nothing at all.
What? Who cares? Okay,
Who cares about winning? Is that what you were about to say?
No. Consistency definitely trumps having a high peak and then an absolutely low
Okay,
floor.
so winning 2 regionals for FaZe and making the grand final in the major means nothing?
Whoa. You act like FaZe just absolutely slapped Complexity. FaZe had to fight tooth and nail to beat Complexity
never
in that.
said that it was
They had to
easy.
fight
They
tooth
got
and
it
nail,
done.
and FaZe got away with one, and you got to give him the W. You got to give him the W there. But I will say this. Complexity, they've been on the up and up.
Yes.
They've been on the up and up. I don't think they're scared of anybody in NA. And honestly, I think a lot of teams are scared of them because they're consistent, they have a style, and they stick with it. They don't switch. You know exactly how they're going to play with creativity, free-flowing, mechanics, and good rotations. They've been on up and up, and I think they proved themselves right here. Absolutely handling the bracket the whole entire way through. They're the best team in North America right now. Simple and plain. Simple and plain. Simple and plain.
I disagree.
That's a base take. Vamos!
They're good.
Give me some Vamoses in the
They
chat.
played incredibly well, but I want to see it again. I want them to keep making grand finals. I want them to see him keep making that level of play.
Someone's
right?
finally spinning.
Because I look at like a team like FaZe or Gen G who consistently are like, yeah, they could definitely win this thing. And that to me is consistency. I look at them like they could always win. Now, just because they didn't doesn't mean they lose all of the things that they've built up.
You don't think complexity's in that conversation?
Okay. I've never said complexity's not in that conversation, but if I'm looking at it next week, I'm going to say, hey, complexity played really well. But if I see FaZe or Gen G playing well, I'm still thinking about it. I'm not definitely picking complexity. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, are you definitely picking FaZe or Gen G though?
If they're playing well, I think I would.
So you're saying FaZe and Gen G didn't play well this tournament?
Absolutely not. Well, Gen G played well. They made the grand final. Gen G played well enough to make the grand finals, but FaZe absolutely did not. But that's not the point.
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, okay. So who's your best team then?
It's probably ninth place does kind of tank it. I think I have to pick Gen G right now.
Okay, that's
FaZe
okay.
Is right behind them.
Gen G's an understandable take. Gen G's an understandable take, and we have the two biased men, so of course we're gonna say both of their squads.
I don't understand how you even came to this conclusion of I got this guy yapping in my ear since the beginning of First Touch. Yapping about recency bias. This team wins one time. One time. And this kid is like, I gotta tell you guys, since they won the last regional, it's gotta be complexity. They're the best team in North America. This is absolutely blasphemous.
Get him!
Nah.
I can't believe it. I was expecting you to say G2. But again, that was a little too far for you. That wasn't delusional enough.
Was
you
too
had to
far.
say
Delusional.
Oh my goodness, man. This is not it. If anything, I'd give it to Gen G right now. And we gotta retake our throne. But complexity?
Nah, you're not getting away with that one. This isn't recency bias. This is not recency bias. This has been a consistent staple since January 2023 till May 10th, 2023. They have been on the up and up. Consistency. Consistency trumps. The only team that's in the conversation. Bro, I'm sorry, I can't put yours in there because y'all like Heckle and Jod. I don't know which one I'm getting. I don't know what.
You're the biggest hater. It's okay.
I don't know which one to get. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. I don't know if I'm gonna get FaZe. It just depends on what side of bed FK wakes up on, what time Miss wakes up, and what sip eats for breakfast. That's what y'all depend on. So yeah, I can't put you in that conversation, bro, because when you're finishing
who's in the conversation? Who's in the conversation?
and then you finish ninth, that's too big of a range. You can't be the best in the
Who's in the conversation?
Now, the only other team that's in the conversation for best in the A is Gen G. So Gen G's a fair shout because Gen G has also been the definition of consistency. They're always making grand finals. They're doing all this, but they haven't won in a while. What's the last time?
Even when they finish top 8s, does that kill everything?
When's the last time Gen G won? Gen G hasn't won since the Winter Open. So
hold
They haven't won in a long time.
Top two?
I know. No. They're getting top 2 to top 4. So if you want to say Gen G's better, I can concede that. But in my eyes, since it's so close between Gen G and complexity right now, I'm gonna give it to the team that just won. 'Cause I think they're both really, really consistent and they're both been balling out.
So if Jack hadn't been sick, would this feel even more better for you?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Don't give me that sick nonsense. Don't give me that sick. Was Jack on the pitch? Was Jack on the pitch?
He sure was.
Was he holding the controller?
And then we gotta pause the game because he gotta throw up.
Don't give me that copium. Don't give me that copium. Answer the question. Answer the question. Answer the question.
It's like if you had to throw up during this show. Oh, we gotta take a break. Base is in the middle of the tank. We gotta take a break with the base. What do you mean? Have you ever puked and play Rocket League right after? No.
Don't give me that copium. Don't give me that copium. Was apparently Jack playing Rocket League this past weekend?
He was on the game. His car was on the field. They had Allen on standby, but yeah, he was playing the game.
You said that he's playing. You said he's playing. You said he's playing. You said he was on the field.
Yes.
Okay, so that means that he was healthy enough to come to sit his behind in his chair, to turn on the PC, and then play Rocket League at the highest
man
level.
expects him to be Michael Jordan flu
That is
game.
crazy.
I don't want to hear no
Bro
excuses.
thinks he's a robot. Bro
I
thinks
don't
he's
want to
a
hear no
robot.
excuses. If you have
thinks
the
he's a robot.
ability to show up, and you have the ability to show up and compete at the highest level, I don't care what condition you're in. If he's too sick to play, you better sit your behind in the bed and not show up. I don't want to hear
That is
it.
crazy
I
for
don't
you.
want to hear it.
That
Who
is
you got on the
crazy
bench,
from
boy,
you.
yo?
That is crazy from you.
It's not crazy. That's
You
not
better have
crazy.
a
That's
sick
facts.
day ever, Bates.
That's facts.
If you
That's
wake up in the
facts.
morning and say,
Nigga, no,
I got
no,
some sniffles,
no.
I'm going to be like, get your butt on that mic.
No,
I'm
no.
scared. Hey, somebody
No.
get that man some Kleenex. He talking about Rocket League today.
Nope. Listen, chat. He brought up if Tyler Bates was sick right now, he would not be here. Man, but exactly. But since I'm not sick, I'm here to play.
But
I'm
that's
not-
the
I'm not
difference between
sick
you and
enough.
Jack.
I'm not sick
Jack
enough.
is thinking he's showing up.
Okay, good. He's supposed to. That means he's not sick enough to not play. Which means I can't give him that copium excuse.
No, that just means he's that much better than Allen.
No.
That means he's that much better
So I
than
got a
Allen
question.
is
So
what
when
that
he scored,
means.
so when he dropped 700, is he still sick?
Yeah, he's still sick. It makes it that much better.
That's a flu
Listen.
game.
Oh
Right.
gosh.
He still got the trash can next to the can, Bates, and just make the trash can disappear. Oh, I dropped 700. All of a sudden, I can breathe now. That's not how that works, Bates. I'm sorry. That's not how that works.
Nah, Jack flu game. Get that nonsense out of here. He played well. He might have been a little under the weather, but he was in good enough condition to compete. So I don't want to hear that nonsense. Give me Complexity as the best team in North America at the moment.
Delusion.
And that's just the facts of the matter.
Delusion.
That's
We
just the
need,
facts
we need
of the matter.
a we need a delusion compilation.
Nah, let's get the poll. Let's get the poll
We got a
rolling.
counter for today.
Let's get the poll running. Slash poll. I want to hear what the chat has to say. Who is the best team in North America? Best team in NA right now.
No, goodness.
Right now.
Chat, please.
Complexity.
Don't let me
you
lose
put
faith.
Genji, FAZE,
Chat.
other. You got 2 minutes
Don't
on
let
the
me
clock,
lose faith,
chat.
chat.
2 minutes on the clock to vote. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you go with. Let's see. Where are the exit polls looking like right now?
I like how
Oh,
someone
no.
in chat just said Zen. That's it.
The exit polls are looking terrible.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
we need some more
thank you.
Vamos.
Thank
We need some more
you.
Vamos in here.
No, dude, we got enough. We got enough Vamos, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, chat.
Okay.
My God. You
Okay.
didn't let
That
the
was
delusion
amazing.
corrupt your brain. You actually said, wait a second, he's got his do-rag on a little too tight today. Let's actually think with some common sense. And then you came on the
It's
show.
loose, actually. You see me? I got a little swag to it today, too. Look at that.
Wait, the fact that you even got the chat going up to 26% is kind of impressive.
Impressive. I don't think it is.
It's kind of impressive.
No,
This-
that means I
this
lost.
recency bias that you even swung chat with your
The question
delusion.
is right now, and y'all aren't reading. Chat clearly isn't doing well in English. I don't know.
Just because
Chad
they
is
won
doing a
one
great
time
job.
doesn't mean they're the
The
best
context-
Chad
right
is doing
now.
a great job.
The context clues with chat right now is struggling. That's all I gotta say.
Nah,
y'all
I
need to
need-
go back to y'all
Context clues.
Y'all need to go back to y'all 7th grade English teacher and say that y'all miss whoever you did not do a good job.
I
Your
knew-
context clues, you don't know how to read.
I knew
Anyways.
that this was gonna happen. Get the delusion counter off of Bates. I knew we was gonna have some do-rag takes today because once I saw it on, I knew it was gonna happen. You see, y'all gotta start paying attention to the context clues. Well, if Bates is wearing a do-rag, you know,
Expect blasphemy.
Expect blasphemy. Like it don't even matter. Now we might have to go even deeper and see what color do-rag he got on. That might let us know how wild he's really getting. If he's got the gold, that's a problem. If he got the LSU gold on, that's a problem. But this one today,
It's tame.
Oh, this is tame Bates? I think it is. I think I'm just being base. This is base right now. That's all it is.
Base.
Base. It's time to move on, though. We got a couple more
let's
days to get
move on, please. Out of reach,
Genji wins that poll.
revisiting who will make
boy.
Boston out of North America. FaZe are sitting at 10 total points display. We had talked about it a little earlier. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Now we're here at this conversation. Who do we think is going to make the Boston Major now after seeing the first results? Do our opinions change?
Mine did because I did the pre-show on day 2, so I had Genji, FaZe, G2, Complexity, and Furia, and I think after the weekend it's Genji, FaZe, Complexity, G2, and then OpTic. So that's my new 5.
Okay.
I think they could do it. There's
Just
a
wanna-
lot of good stuff there.
I just want to throw out, since he said OpTic, I believe D-Rect, he's always watching. Shout out D-Rect for giving everybody the beautiful stats. What did D-Rect
sir.
say? D-Rect said that OpTic has a 90, going off of last season, OpTic has a 90% chance to make major. 9 out of 10 instances
job,
where a team
Brain.
had a 3rd place finish in the double in brackets made major. OpTic. If you don't make major, you're going against 90%. You're going against history. So I think it's a good that Achieves corrected that and put OpTic
Wait, so
in
if
his
they
top
don't
five.
if they don't make it, is it a choke? Would you consider it a choke?
I mean, would you consider failing 10% of the time a choke, or
Yeah.
should you be
I
hitting the
Yes.
I would consider that a choke.
That's a
'Cause that means
choke,
90% of the
choke.
time you're on the money. That's a
you're
choke.
nailing it. Yeah.
That's a choke. Alrighty. That's 100% a choke. No question about that. Alrighty. I want to hear. Should I go my 5 teams I think who are going to make Boston now?
Yeah.
You volunteered, yes.
Okay. Okay, so I think it's interesting. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what the bracket looks like. We have a projected bracket somewhere. Does anybody notice? I guess you can't do it, huh? Because we haven't done the closed.
Projected.
Give me. I think just looking off the points. Looking off the points.
Alright, we have it on.
I believe OpTic plays G2. I think OpTic plays G2 in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's unofficial. That's unofficial, so don't quote me. But I think that's how the points work, and I think they play each other, which means that one of them 2 teams ain't making the major. That means one side. I don't think. Oh, OpTic plays NOG. Is that what y'all's saying? Oh, OG plays NOG. Oh, never mind.
Just kidding, they're making it.
Never mind.
They're making it.
Okay, wait. Hold on. Somebody else go while I look at it. While I look at this unofficial. bracket.
NRG are in quals, by the way.
Yeah.
So you don't even know yet. You can't know.
This is unofficial.
Yeah, I don't think
okay.
we can know,
It's based off a feeling. Okay, so let me get rid of that. Based off a feeling, I'm gonna go. G2's gonna make the major. You knew that was coming though.
Yeah.
G2's gonna make the major. Gen G complexity. Yeah, see, then
I swear to God, if you don't put FAZE
That's
on
where-
four,
that's
at
It's
least,
the biggest hater. It's the biggest hater, bro. This is actual hater takes.
That's where
Actual hater takes.
because listen, FaZe, because then it gets a little hard because it's all about the matchups. It's all about the matchups.
What?
And honestly, there's a world where G2 don't make it either. There's all about the matchups here because
yeah, it's way more likely that G2 doesn't make it, I think.
Yeah, so I think.
Let me just brush by that. Continue. Go ahead, babe.
Okay, so actually no. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say complexity, Gen G, OpTic, and then the next 2 spots are questionable. Next two spots because then you gotta choose between Furia, V1, SSG, G2.
Jesus,
Yeah,
losing it.
yeah, those teams, right, Bates?
Oh wait, did I forget FaZe?
Yeah.
Man, what seed does FaZe get?
There is one spot up for
I'm
grabs.
staying
FaZe is making
consistent.
it.
I'm still staying consistent. I'm gonna say FaZe and G2. Those be your 5. I'm gonna stay consistent. I'm not switching. But I'm a little
Alright.
suspect on that. I'm not gonna lie. Actually,
Bro, it's flip flopping. The professional flip flop.
I'm gonna stick with those 5. That's my 5. I think it just I think it really depends on the bracket. It's hard to do.
Wait,
It's hard to
what
do
were they?
this.
Gen G.
I don't want. We're gonna revisit this topic next week. Well,
Yeah, this
Bates
is
like, I need more
reassess.
evidence.
Are you saying
because-
next week or after the next event?
no. I just need to see the bracket.
Oh,
Because,
okay. That's what you're saying,
because I
that's what
think
you're
the only
Gotcha.
2 locks, I'm gonna be honest, the only 2 locks to make it are Gen G and complexity. The next 3 are questionable. Can OpTic do that
The
again?
two
I don't
teams that
know.
were in the finals.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I also
They
think
have the
they're
most points,
I also
yeah,
think they're
it's
the
the
2
safest
most
bet.
consistent teams. I think they're safe bets. They're safe bets, but I think it depends on bracket. If OpTic ends up
Yeah.
playing like somebody
sure-
really nasty the second round, cause who OpTic play this time in the second round? They got like a free second round. They played Dignitas or something.
No.
Oh no, they played Sup.
Free
They played
second
they played Sup.
Yeah, they would have played
because
G2, but y'all
G2 lost. Exactly.
you guys
So
lost,
that
yeah.
that changes the whole entire weekend for people. So I just gotta wait in the bracket.
Mhm.
I gotta wait in the bracket. I can't predict. I'm sorry. It's too hard.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
understand.
I get it. Y'all can't have that round 1 no more. That's for sure. Y'all got to start the day off right. Otherwise, y'all are in trouble. I got Gen G, FaZe, complexity. This is where it gets hard. I'll go G2. I
So
don't
we all
know.
agree on the
I
top
don't-
4.
Well, I don't know because I'm going with G2, but G2 did lose to OpTic.
Actually, put G2 in. I'm too confident in G2. Put G2. That's my 3 teams so far.
I'll go.
3 teams so far.
And yeah, I want to revisit this too.
Oh my
When the
god.
bracket comes out. So
I think
So
it's
I'm
just
the
bracket
only
to
one
me.
that
Yeah,
actually
nah,
has
don't worry.
the
I
Jesus,
gotta
I
see
got
who
you, man.
FaZe
These guys
plays.
are too scared. They're too scared.
No, I gotta
wait,
see
can
who
I
you play though.
finish?
Yeah, you can
Go
finish,
ahead,
sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah,
I thought you said you need
Genji,
to revisit.
Complexity, G2, FaZe, and SSG.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, last time
It
I
was
had
between
Genji,
SSG
FaZe,
now.
G2, V1, and V1, SSG. Yeah, that's 5, right? This time I got Genji, FaZe. I'm going to switch Complexity for V1 because Complexities get, like, they got first. And I do agree that they are extremely consistent now. So Genji, FaZe, G2, Complexity, SSG. That's my 5.
So the same as Daz, right?
Yeah,
Is it?
So no
Okay,
optic.
okay.
No optic, nope.
yeah. We don't have
Tough.
OpTic. Achieves does.
Yeah.
I feel
There's
like-
there's my fun pick.
I feel
you
like-
really could go for it.
Well, I think for both teams, SSG and OpTic, the thing is, can they repeat it? Like,
Yep.
can they kind of repeat that consistency and show up and show out? So I'm just kind of banking on SSG because they had a stronger upper bracket run. I
Yeah.
think, yeah. So
Give
Reasonable.
me optic as well. The real question is who is. I don't know who the 5th spot is. I gotta see who FaZe plays. I gotta
Yeah.
see. FaZe gotta
It's
show me
just
something.
the top up.
FaZe gotta show me something.
Very possible that it's probably like a three team race between OpTic, SSG, and maybe V1 depending on how the Spring Cup goes. So it's kind of the 3-horse race, and I just picked the team that I thought felt the best to me.
I might just be saying all this to mess around. But you'll come back from my
I
5th
know
spot
you
next
are.
week.
I know you are.
Come back from my 5th spot next week.
oh wait, no, they both. Oh no, technically SSG and OpTic both lost 4-1 in the upper bracket semifinals.
Why are y'all saying Furia? Now, what are y'all seeing from Furia that says
yeah.
that what chat? What are y'all saying from Furia? What are y'all seeing from Furia that makes you believe that they're gonna make the major?
Well, I touched on that very early on that show because like they did have a really bad round 1 matchup for them and Genji, who's like a computer, and they just break Furia down. And obviously Furia is not as good as Complexity at the moment, so tough stuff. But they had a solid enough run through the lower bracket, right? Dignitas 3-0, version 1 3-0, and Sup somehow still around 3-0, and then they ran into Space Station Gaming, who's obviously playing quite well. So it was a decent enough lower bracket run. I think Furia gets a less daunting first round in that upper bracket. Who knows what happens, right?
Yeah, I think the first round. I think the first rounds are really gonna switch up because people did bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like version 1 could play somebody good first round. What happens if version 1 versus FaZe first round or something like that? I don't think that's possible, but
And FaZe wins. That's what happens.
Listen, we got a lot of talk. Let's talk about somebody else who was talking on a timeline. Let's go to our Twitter fingers segment here up next. Yan and Money spark a debate on Twitter. As you can see, Yan plays worse after the tweets he did before. Now, we're not going to show you the tweets. You can look at that on your own. We don't need
oh,
to
you don't
show
have the tweets up?
Yeah, I don't think we should show that anyways.
Oh well, I thought you were gonna read them out loud. And I gotta sign into Twitter.
Do you want to? I don't want to
Bass
read
didn't
those.
check it? You didn't check it?
I mean, I saw them.
Yeah, I feel like.
Basically,
It-
you could just inform people about what was
Yeah,
talked
so
about, bro.
basically, like it was just
Yeah, give them- Do we have their Twitter handles? Can we just give them their Twitter handles so they can go check it out?
I'll just sum it up.
yeah, let me sum it up.
Oh, because basically what happened was Furia beats up, then young Yan tweeted out saying, "What's that about being a scrim pro?" Basically, paraphrasing. And then after that, Money responded saying, "Bro, congratulations, you beat me, but I was talking about y'all trolling in scrims." And then trolling in scrims, not taking people serious, and you're wasting people's time. That is what went on. And after that, a whole bunch of other stuff happened. Yam responded with a with a regular photo of him living his life. They talked about earnings and all that type of stuff. But the main point was Money called Furia scrim pros like 2 months ago, and then Furia doesn't try in scrims. That's what happened. That's the background.
Yeah, that's solid. So let's take a look at how Yan played before and after that. We got the wipe. Let's throw up the Fury tape because it definitely seemed like there was an impact. Now, is it tweet related? I don't know. We can look at the series though between Sup and just kind of again talk about it. All the Twitter fingers were coming out though, and when you talk the talk, you got to be able to walk the walk. We always talk about it.
Yes, sir. And I think this series in particular might have been something where Yan was like a little bit more motivated just because he knows what like Money came at him, and regardless of if it was like a scrim team, he had something to prove to Money. As insignificant, I think It
As
is,
that
but like
is,
it's still competition at the end of the day, you know. But like if somebody's talking on you, you gotta show them up a little bit, and I think that's what Yan did. But after the I guess this matchup happened, he was just like, all right, well, you know, I think that's what he was playing for when he should have really just been focusing on winning the tournament instead of playing for respect against money or something. Like you should be trying to win the tournament, but
Yeah, I think
you know, I guess
me
the
personally,
Twitter was
bold
important.
move for money, right? To go after a guy who's had at least reasonable success on a live stage, right? That's what I find the most wild thing. Like you can say whatever you want about Yan playing better or after, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I get being frustrated if you feel like a team's trolling at you in scrims, but like it's always wild to me to sit there and start talking when you haven't made a major, right? Like, I don't necessarily think that's the right way to go.
But how are they supposed to improve it, Cheese? If you
No,
got
I agree. I
top
agree.
teams
Like,
trolling
it's
for 'em.
frustrating, but like, I don't know what going after Yan gets you, right? Like, what are you gaining except mental confirmation or something, which you don't even get because you lost, right? Like, I don't get it.
I feel like it's probably just like that public, airing it out in public, which is trying to like reinforce or maybe even talk to other pros and stuff, just like saying, hey man, this team trolls and scrims,
Yeah,
it's not cool.
maybe.
Because at the end of the day, people do want to have like, you know, good scrims before they
Yes.
go into events and stuff. And why are
Absolutely.
we scheduling you? But that could be another thing too. Why schedule Fury if you know they're trolling his scrims anyways?
Yes, if true, money's bang on the money, and they won't make another major. Like he's dead right. If true,
Yeah, it's not looking likely either. And it's just getting tougher. So I think Yan needs to focus more on his play on the field. Definitely during tournament days and trying to win a tournament instead of beefing with somebody he's honestly done better than. Like it's just not
Yeah.
worth your time.
you both can
Focus on
spend your
yourself.
time a lot better.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Teammates likes the
I like
the drama.
I like the drama. It shows that these people are actually they care about something. I like
Yes.
the drama. Now listen, when somebody in the wrong right here, yeah, if you're throwing scrims or you're trolling scrims, you're wasting somebody's time. So fundamentally, money's right. But I like the the competition. I like it when players aren't trying to be all friendly with one another, because you don't need that. You don't need to have that. It's cool to respect one another, but you don't have to be all friendly. And some people, they're just being fake for the camera. They're being fake for the public image, but then they're really not nice people behind the camera. So why don't you show your real self out more to the public? That means people should have a more concise and full picture of the person that you're trying to be, or the person that you are, I should say.
On God.
But in regards to that, this whole graphic of him playing worse after the tweet. I mean, he played the best team he played the whole entire
he played
tournament.
better teams. Yeah.
So of course the numbers will go down. This is all just a push narrative down. Like now, like he did.
Push narrative.
The media controls it.
He did it. Yan's play didn't just drop down because after the tweet. No,
played
I don't
better
think the
team.
tweet had anything to do with his performance on the field. I don't really think he put that much thought into the tweet. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't have tweeted at him. Tweet probably wouldn't have tweeted at him.
You do got to feel something to go back that aggressively,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not
Think out
gonna
a little
lie.
bit.
No,
I
like
feel
you,
like it had an impact.
like you put like I'm gonna mess with them. I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna tweet out. This guy doesn't know what you're talking about. You're coming for me. I'm a bigger name than you. I'm gonna tweet stuff and I'm just gonna give reactions anyways. I'm talking about like did it mentally was the distraction, was the mental distraction that significant to the point that it affected his play on the pitch? I would say no, not at all, not in the slightest. He has played the best team he played the whole entire tournament, and that's why his numbers went down.
It went down a lot though. I don't know. We had Yan in a conversation of being a top 5 player in the world. I know you didn't, Bates, but like a lot of
Yeah,
people
because
did.
I kept it realistic.
Okay, a lot of people
Oh,
did.
you mean you needed to see them win more things?
Yeah,
before
win more
you could
things,
call them
be
the
a
best?
little bit more consistent, and
Hey,
Nah,
that's a callback.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, of course you don't.
I'm severely lost. What are you saying?
You just need a little bit more out of complexity before you can call it best, but you need to see a little bit more out of Yan too. I get it, I understand, but complexity.
Oh, y'all trying to make some illogical
Here we
connection.
go. It goes crazy.
Okay.
I see.
Delusion.
We need a soundboard. Delusion.
Okay. Well, You guys let us know how you feel about the Twitter fingers, of course, on Twitter at First Touch RL to see whether or not it's a media narrative being pushed or not. You know, it could be.
I don't push narratives. I'm not the news.
No, you've been pushing that G2 narrative for a long time. Let's talk about MENA. New Kings of MENA. Will Rule 1 hold on to the top spot this split? Rule 1 with back-to-back regional victories, but I mean, I feel like this doesn't really give you context to everything that happened in the MENA region, because it's not just Rule 1 winning. They didn't have a lot of comp there in the finals. I mean, you talk about Falcons. Where were Falcons?
They lost.
That's the problem.
Listen, they lost Rule 1 run. Let's roll the Rule 1 tape. Rule 1 did very well this event. Obviously, they had a solid performance overall. Chiefs, how did you feel about the first MENA Spring Open?
So, I mean, for me, I think, one, it's good to see a team like Rule 1 continue to press, right? Because if your other big MENA team right now in Falcons is kind of sitting there and getting bounced out by, you know, teams like Twisted Minds and Infinity, where you really need one team to be a strong and consistent winners in a region that needs one strong and consistent team to get more spots for these live events. I think for me, it's a good thing that Rule 1's out there doing that. So I like that aspect of it. And right now, you have to call Rule 1 team to beat, because, you know, you can say not a lot of competition, but what does that say about, you know, Falcons losing to Twisted Minds and Infinity, right? It's like, is it really not a lot of competition, or is maybe Falcons not working quite as hard as they once were, or is competition actually leveling up? There's a lot of different avenues right there to sort of explore. But for me, I think you like to see that consistent winning from Rule 1. You like to have that solid number one team. You kind of want that if you're obviously them, and you've seen it with teams who make consecutive back-to-back grand finals, FAZE, K-Corp, you know, Gen G. Good things happen for teams that consistently top the chart, right? So I like it.
Will Rule 1 hold on to the top spot this split? I'm saying yes. I think they hold on to that. They've been waiting for this opportunity to finally make a major. This is the best shot they can get with Falcons going down the lower bracket semifinal. I think they hold on. Raul?
I'm kind of torn because I had Falcons making the major, but if they're getting knocked out by teams that are not Rule 1, then it's kind of a problem. And I think Rule 1 is gonna take advantage of this, and yeah, they're gonna overtake them. Honestly, I really want to trust. You know what? Nah. I'm going Falcons. I think Falcons gonna take it back. I came to my senses a little bit. I gotta stand on my word. You know, this is one off. I'm taking Falcons. Falcons gonna bounce back. It was just one off. You know, shooting stars happen every once in a while, just like I said before.
So you can call yourself a shooting star because you won 2 regionals and then tanked out in 9th?
No. See, what a shooting star achieves is it happens every once in a while, right? So when we lose in 9th through 12th, but then we get back-to-back regional wins and then second place at a major.
Your shooting star is the inverse. You go out 9th to 12th as the shooting star. Gotcha. Okay.
It's like the negative.
But their shooting star is the 2 wins.
Got his behind. That was good. That was good. It's a little sad that Falcons dropped the boat out where they went. If they actually lost, I believe one place went further. I think they finished 4th. If they finished third,
they finished 4th.
If they finished 3rd, then they would still be able to control their own destiny, I believe. But now even if they win the next 2 regionals and Rule 1 still makes both grand finals, I believe Rule 1 still makes the major.
Did make it,
and Rule 1 has not missed a grand final in MENA since, I believe, Fall Regional 2, which is a long time ago. A long time ago. They have been nothing but consistency. Win the Saudi land against Falcons in the grand final. It's hard for me to say Rule 1's not going to be, just based off of consistency alone, they've been nothing. The definition of consistent.
Yeah, they've looked good.
Falcons have also as well. They have one that went off, but that one in this region, when it's those 2 teams, especially on top, it comes back to bite you. Rule 1's gonna be the team representing MENA for the first time ever. That's not Falcons in Boston.
Okay, I agree. Obviously, the Chiefs. What did you say?
Yeah. I think they will. Okay. I don't think I actually said, but I think they hold on to it as well.
All right, so Raul's flying with the Falcons. I understand. We'll end up coming back to that after the split's over. Europe is kind of be kicking off here really soon. Okay, gentlemen, I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at the time, and I'm looking at what we got left over here. Do we want to hit this at the bottom here and then just kind of overall arch everything? Or do we want to...
Are you... what bottom? What's the
right
bottom?
here, right here. You see me? I'm highlighting it.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, it's bold for you to assume we're looking at the script. All right,
Oh, my bad.
That was a bold assumption. Words too hard. Looking. It's easy.
Okay, we can go to the spring open predictions and then kind of overall I can just hit everything while we go to that. Why is he an outro? What are you doing? Ben, no one made a call yet.
Wait, why we skip too tall?
That's what I'm saying. All right.
I think we should do too tall. Forget the spring open predictions. We need to do too tall and pond hopping.
All right. Well, let's go to too tall here. Which EU team has the best chance of besting Karmi Corp? Karmi Corp has made every grand final in Europe this season. Let's talk about it right here, right now, because there's been some roster moves. We got Rise on that TBDS. Raul is looking some type of way. Why are you looking some type of way? You okay?
Because this isn't a question.
Oh,
There's only one team.
I want to know what you say.
I mean, Chad said it. They said it for NA.
Man.
What team is the best team in NA? They said Zen.
Man.
That was for NA. Now we're over in Europe. Which EU team has the best chance of besting Karma? There's only one answer. What happened, Zen? He's coming for your. He's coming for your top slot.
No, that's a reference. That's a reference. Oh, man. He's rolling with Zentality. Achieves, do you agree with them?
Same thing for a very specific reason, though.
Okay, talk to me.
The obvious counter to why Vitality is why not Liquid. And
there you go.
The only answer that I see is yes, Liquid occasionally gets the better of K-Corp. Fair enough, but so does every team. Nobody consistently dominates anybody else. But K-Corp and Liquid, when they play, it feels like K-Corp's in the driver's seat. They're the ones driving pace of play. Liquid has to consistently play up. And I feel like if you're constantly having to outplay and just be better than the other team, it's generally an overall losing strategy. You've seen Vitality in some of these new off-season tournaments, Gamers Without Borders, Rising Stars, like they had some good wins against some good teams. Granted, we never got to see the K-Corp matchup. K-Corp somehow managed to lose to Monaco Esports, but that's okay. They have wins over G1, Oxygen, Moist, G1 again. So like it's not like the cream of the crop in Europe that Vitality's walking over, but they are smashing them. So like I'm willing to pick Vitality out of I want something new, and I think that Zen is the optimal person to latch onto. He's the new shift right into where Rocket League goes and how to approach super mechanical players. So I'm willing to bet on something new, and that's why I like Vitality.
What does Damar think?
I've been thinking about this for a minute. Ever since we saw this. No, we don't have that much time, so I'm not going to go into the diatribe.
You can go to the diatribe. It's okay.
All right, I'll go into it. You know, I talked to Alpha 54 more than any of these players between the Vitality, Karmi Corp. I know him really well. Great person, great player. Talks about the game a lot. I saw the early tournaments with Zen. Zen looks like it's the truth. I think, like we said,
It's nasty.
Vitality, you know, they're leveling up. But I'm sticking by with what I said last week. Vitality, they'll make the major at 2. I don't think any team, they might have the best chance of best at K-Corp, but I don't think they are best at K-Corp. They'll try their best, but then you're going to see what that blue wall looks like. The bees, they can fly as high as they can, but not when they get to that wall. They got some anti-bug spray on that wall, and the bees are going to fall down. They're going to have to try to figure things out because you can have a nice rising star, and he's been doing good, but he hasn't played the best yet. When we see him play the best, then we're going to really see.
That's the question. It's the best chance to beat them, not
right. I
will
said
they.
that. I said they had the best chance, but I'm still saying even with that, they're not going to.
No shot. Okay, gotcha. Wow.
Oh, man. I'm going to say for this split online, keyword is online. This split online, I'm going to stay with Liquid. I'm going to stay with Liquid. I'm going to stay with Liquid online. LAN is a little bit different.
Yeah, they got outscored 23-11 in their match. It was not pretty online.
LAN is a little bit different. I think I'm rolling with Liquid online though. I I mean, they've been together so long. I think they're playing the best Rocket League they ever played. I think they're a solid top 2. Vitality's trying to get in there. BDS maybe. Moist with Cash, but best chance I'm gonna say Liquid right after that Vitality, and then so on.
Okay. So we got Vitality, and Liquid. All right, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in this EU event. Let's talk about pawn hopping though. Which 5 teams will represent Europe and Boston? You talked
that's
about
a good question.
Rise to BDS, Cash to Moist, obviously Zen to Vitality. What's the top 5?
All right.
You could start, Bates.
I mean, are we just gonna say a name? We're doing like last week where I say a name and then everybody says whether they agree or not.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Alrighty. Carmine.
Yes.
Carmine makes the major, of course they do. Liquid.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Liquid
I need that
automatically.
giant. I need the giant back.
No hesitation. So we got Carmine, we got Liquid.
He's trying to
Moist.
throw first.
Yes.
I'm going with him too. I'm going with Moist.
It's the return of the cannon. He's back. Here comes Cash.
I need the cannon. I'm going with the cannon. Give me that one.
Chat, give me 1s in the chat if Moist makes the major, 2s if they do not. Bro, what do you think?
You going against the cannon?
Yeah, I gotta say yeah. I'll say yeah.
Oh wait, yes they do or no they?
Yeah,
or...
they do.
Okay.
It's looking like more 2s in chat for that. Hold on, I gotta wait. I said Moist, but I gotta wait a second. I might all right, stop with the 1s and 2s. Stop with the 1s and 2s. Pause. Anyways, Vitality.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 3 guaranteed teams. Oh wait, no, y'all said Moist, so I guess I gotta go to the majority. All right, so we have Vitality, Carmine, Moist, and Liquid. Those are the 4 teams so far. So now we're looking for a 5th spot. Does Oxygen Esports make the major?
No.
I said yes.
Ah!
Yep. Ixo's good.
What?
He's good.
That is crazy.
No one believed me when I had Galaxy Racer beating Vitality when they were winning Europe either. I get it. I understand.
Ixo is good though.
Ixo is an excellent player. I think he is that type of mechanical, I beat people by myself type of player. Jorius is a wonderful supporting that is also quite mechanical. Got Archie in there who can come through, drop the hammers. I think there's a lot of good tools on Oxygen. Granted, haven't seen the bracket like T-Bates said earlier. There could be some tough matches, who knows? But I looked at the pieces and I like Oxygen more than I like anybody else.
Okay, he's rolling with Oxygen. That's 1 for Oxygen Chiefs.
Did Raul say yes or no?
I can't pick them.
Oh, I forgot G1 in that poll.
Yep.
Yeah,
My bad, Chad. My bad. I said other. Count other as G1. Nobody else is.
Yeah. The other 2 big choices are BDS and G1, right?
Okay, yeah. So Raul said no to Oxygen.
Yeah, I can't pick.
And DeMar said no as well.
Correct.
Okay, G1.
I said no because I picked Oxygen, so.
I'm saying no.
Okay, no. Raul, you're saying no?
Bro, yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
So that means you pick BDS. If you all said no to Oxygen,
Monkeys.
you have to be saying yes to
I'm
E.
picking monkeys.
I knew you would go with them. I knew you would go with monkeys, bro. I knew you would go with Raziers. Now explain to the people why you going with Raziers.
Nah, y'all wildin'. I'm not picking monkeys.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you'd go with Raziers.
Nah, man.
Did I say okay?
He needs a little bit more experience.
Okay. Did I say PSG Tundra?
No.
No, you didn't.
I'm saying no.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about them.
All right. So there's a whole bunch of no's here. So finally, I'll say the other name I haven't said. BDS.
Now, Rise, after all that stuff we were saying on Twitter, after that back and forth we done had, if you don't make the major, I swear to God, I'm going BDS.
Oh
Give me
my.
BDS too. I'm rolling with Rise. I'm rolling with the defending world champions. Give me BDS. This is where they come back and they dominate. I'm
FT takes BDS in a complete 3-for-3 split. Switch something. We're taking BDS.
It's a 3-pick sweep.
Oh no.
BDS making a major. I'm confident.
Yeah, it could be the return arc.
I'm
They're my other
confident.
big choice.
I'm confident. It's gonna be tough though.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it is.
Because
That's some good
awful
comp.
seeding, aren't they? They're starting with awful seeding.
Doesn't matter.
Is a bracket out?
No, probably not. I haven't seen a tweet.
Yeah, probably not. But
Is there a bracket? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. But yeah, that's what we're rolling with. FT roll with their 5. If you go with my majority vote, it was Carmine, Vitality, Liquid, Moist, and BDS. Those are the 5 teams predicted on the FT that will make the Boston Major in July. We hope to see you all there. Tickets are out, by the way, so make sure you go buy your ticket.
Sir.
Get
And
the
I wasn't
tickets.
even told to do that plug.
That's right.
nailed it.
Go buy your ticket.
If you need help of figuring out where to go to RL Esports on Twitter, at RL Esports on Twitter. Or you could just type rl.gg/2023 spring major ticket. If you can't type, just go to the Twitter, spin there. That being
Apparently,
said,
we're doing something on the show.
on this show,
Apparently, look at I don't know. I didn't even notice. How do we notice? How do we notice?
Oh, we have the
the
round one
matches.
matches. Round
Interesting.
1 matches. Well, listen, you guys were trying to figure it out.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
announcing it here.
That's news to me. That's news.
Oh,
That's news.
Oh, Moist plays monkeys? I don't know anymore.
yeah, Moist-
Moist Monkeys is a good matchup. Carmine versus Wild. BDS Williams Resolve Vitality Quadrant. G1 Guild. I don't know. I could predict this whole entire first round, I'll be honest.
Can
It's
we
not
see
looking-
what it looks like in a bracket form? Do we have that?
Well, you can just go to. Oh, well, yeah, we do. Okay, put it in bracket form. Flip over to
Hey,
that.
there we go. How convenient.
Oh,
There we
nice.
go.
They're actually really good at this.
BDS
Yeah.
plays Carmine second.
Oh, BDS Carmine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what I like to see.
Yeah.
That's what I like to
Vitality,
see.
BDS, and Carmine all on the same side.
Oh, G1 up there, too.
Vitality,
Oh, that
G1,
is.
G1.
Oh,
Oh,
this is about to be a
gosh.
crazy
I
weekend.
actually
Oh,
really
God,
like
that whole
that.
entire upper half.
I really like that because I wanted to see it.
I'm calling Liquid in the semis. Give me
Oh,
Liquid
wait,
in
we
the
can do
semis.
predictions. We got time for predictions. Our cable slide got extended. Should we play a game? I won't
Oh.
vote. It'll be you 3 vote. I'll
Oh
I'll
my
just say the
goodness, you
names.
never
Wikipedia,
vote.
thank you for adding us. We appreciate
Okay,
that.
you're welcome. You're welcome indeed. All right, chat.
What?
We're about to do the FT bracket. Then we're gonna close this show out. Carmine versus Wild.
K-Corp.
K Corp.
Okay, go.
All right, K Corp wins that. BDS Williams.
BDS.
BDS, yeah.
BDS.
Vitality Quadrant.
Vitality.
Vitality.
Oh, wait, we got to let Ben type. He's
Oh
trying to catch
gosh,
up.
Ben, learn how to type fast. You Ben,
going
you
as
asked
fast
for
as
it,
he can.
and
We're
we're giving
splitting
it to
through
you.
this bracket.
Oh,
Where's
okay.
German Amigos? German Amigos are PSG Tundra.
Is it updating? Oh, okay. They're waiting for it to do thing. Okay, so Vitality. We got Vitality winning. G1 Guild. G1.
Oh, okay, so they've already done it.
Yeah, they're waiting. It's like some programming stuff, some tech stuff. But we
Gotcha.
can keep going.
Oh, well, why'd you take my... Okay, well, hold on. You're voting. I'm doing the names. Team Liquid and Tom, or Tam.
2.5 men.
Oh,
2.5
that's what
men.
that is. I'm so
Yeah.
confused. I'm like, I don't know. 2.5
Yeah, because
men.
that's speed and
It's,
Rizix and Toxic, I think. 2.5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still liquid. Yeah.
All right, Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid.
PSG versus Suh.
My boy Tho and Hibbs.
Yeah. I want to pick PSG because I believe in Verge breaking it down.
I'll go PSG. I'll go PSG.
I'm gonna go to the upset here.
Reasonable.
Okay, so PSG, though. Liquid
Yeah.
and PSG for that. Oxygen versus Hogan mode.
Oxygen.
Is that Scrub?
Scrub killer.
Yeah, that's great.
He's back.
Yo! Shout out Scrub. He just turned, I believe, 20.
Yes.
That's insane. 20-year-old
That
Scrub
is
killer.
insane.
20-year-old Scrub killer. Put in that perspective. I believe everybody's gonna go Oxygen here.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna lose here. So
Yeah,
Oh.
Oxygen. Yeah.
I think
Happy
Hogamo's
birthday.
got a chance. Moist versus
Happy
Monkeys.
birthday. Yeah,
Moist.
Alrighty, Moist indeed. Okay.
Bro, I was
All right,
quiet
we're gonna
there.
start from the bottom. Moist versus Oxygen.
Moist.
Moist. I'm going moist again.
yeah, moist.
Yeah, I'll pick moist. Well, no, I'll pick. It doesn't matter. I'm outvoted. Moist.
Liquid versus Tundra.
Liquid.
Liquid.
Y'all are making a boring bracket. Vitality
Well,
versus G1.
Vitality.
Vitality.
Of course. All right. Carmine versus BDS.
Yeah, K-Corp.
Beat.
Come on, man. No,
All I'm
no.
saying is that FaZe lost right there, and it would. Hey, let's BDS. I think they got a realistic chance. I think they got.
I
I
mean,
think-
they
They
could.
They could.
Depends
That'd be a
how
banger
Carmine's
match.
looking on the day, right? Because I know they worked really hard for the major, and there's something to be said. Maybe
This is just telling
complacency,
me I
yada
can't-
yada yada.
I actually can't wait for EU. Go ahead.
Man, but which one are you watching though? If you had to pick between the two, K Corp, the K Corp match or the Vitality match, which one are you like locked in on?
the
Definitely the
one.
K Corp.
It's not even a
Okay.
question.
I don't know. Some people want to see Vitality.
Yeah,
against
for me,
G1.
I want to see Vitality G1. I know they've already beat them, but I want to see them beat them so they can play whoever wins, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Team Liquid going up against Moist. Who wins that?
Liquid. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
I don't
Liquid
know.
just
if,
wins that one.
Just overall, the floor is a little higher, I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like-
Part of me wants. I'm going moist. I'm outvoted, but I'm going moist
Yeah,
here.
Moist could become that team that smashes Liquid, but you have to see it one time, right?
Okay, so we're going Liquid right there,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Zen versus Vatira.
Zen going up against Vatira. The stream has 70 million people watching. And y'all
The
pick the
first go
upper
around.
seed each and every time. Y'all are
Picking
picking a
Vitality.
perfect upper seed bracket. Alrighty,
Yeah.
Vitality versus Carmine. Who wins?
The first go around, it's K Corp. I think the next couple regionals, I
Really?
think it's Vitality.
Okay.
Assuming that everyone is playing at their best, assuming everyone's at their best, I think
Everyone's at their
K-Corp
best?
wins the first
Vitality.
go-around.
I'm gonna go Vitality on this one.
Oh, K
Alright.
Corp, the blue wall drops to the lower bracket. Chat,
Alright.
did they get it right? Did they get it right? Ones in the chat. If Vitality takes down Carmine right there, twos if not.
They have been working hard.
Vitality going up against Liquid. Who wins that?
Vitality.
If you're going to take them to beat the best team, you got to take them to beat the second best team.
I'm going Liquid on that.
Well, too bad you've been outvoted.
Okay.
Liquid in the grand final. So is this thing gonna be accurate in the lower bracket? Is the question. Because last week we
I
had
don't
some
know.
technical difficulties.
I don't know. We're still waiting for this to update. So, oh, it says it is okay.
Alrighty. Flip to the lower bracket, please. Ooh, oh wow, it is updated indeed. It's looking good too. Okay, Wild versus Williams.
Williams.
Alrighty, Williams moves on right there. Quadrant Guild.
Mid off, but I guess we could go Quadrant.
I like Quadrant.
Quadrant.
Okay.
I always believe in Casio.
2.5 men versus Suh.
So,
Okay, so just to recap, we got Williams, Quadrant, and then Suh. Hogan Mo going up against Monkeys.
monkeys.
All right, Monkeys. Nobody
Happy
believes in
birthday.
Scrub. Scrub, I believe in you. Show him, prove him wrong. As
Make the comeback.
as we wait for this to update real fast, I believe we have Oxygen versus Williams up top.
Yeah.
Oxygen.
Okay.
Oxygen.
Okay. For PSG versus Quadrant.
PSG.
PSG.
Okay. G1 versus Suh.
G1.
Okay. And then BDS going up against Monkeys.
BDS.
I'm going BDS. That's a nervous matchup for me though.
Okay, BDS
I'm
wins
thinking
that
about
as well.
G1 Sai, actually. I don't know. You could pick Sai.
Okay, Oxygen, PSG Tundra.
Oxygen.
I'm
I'm gonna go PSG.
I'll go PSG on that too.
Alrighty. G1 versus
BDS.
G1 versus BDS.
BDS.
Yeah,
Okay.
BDS.
Okay. Alrighty. Carmine versus Tundra.
K Corp.
K-Corp,
Wait,
yeah.
it was Tundra y'all picked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna pick K Corp. That's easy. That's easy.
That's easy.
Okay, and then Moist versus
BDS.
BDS.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, BDS.
BDS.
BDS over Moist. Cash Money drops the rise. Joyo can't beat former teammate. Remains to be seen. Carmine going up against BDS yet again.
Carmine.
K-Corp.
And K-Corp just handles BDS, I guess.
And the
Alrighty.
great rematch.
Okay, then we get Vitality, Carmine again.
K-Corp.
It doesn't
Talk it
matter.
up.
I'm outvoted. Doesn't matter. I'm outvoted.
Oh, wait, he said K. Already said K-Corp?
Wait, for what? Which
K-Corp
match?
versus Vitality.
Oh, no. Chalk it up. Zen has it.
Oh.
It's his time to dominate.
Okay.
Wait. Chiefs? Which one are you going?
I said they'd lose the first time. They'd win the next one. I'm also Vitality.
Oh, Carmine
unbelievable.
stays in the lower finals. They don't make the grand finals for the first time ever. This
I
season.
don't like that.
Carmine misses the grand finals for the first time ever. You heard it from these three analysts. The Blue Wall don't make it. The reigning winter major champions. As we go up to the upper bracket, Team Liquid versus Team Vitality. Vitality has the bracket reset. Team Liquid. First series, who wins?
Team Liquid.
Right. I had Vitality beating Liquid in the
Yep,
upper final,
chalk it
so
up.
I'm
It's
just stuck.
over.
I'm just
It's
stuck
Zen
with
World.
Vitality.
Okay, Vitality
Oh
beats them,
my
and then the bracket reset.
God.
Vitality wins.
Vitality
I think they may have run out of steam though. I think Liquid might do it to them.
Oh!
The second go around.
Okay, give me that. Give me that. I'll take that. Give me that
Okay.
Liquid.
Liquid wins in the bracket reset. Team Liquid takes the EU Spring Open. Did Achieves, Raul, and Damar get it all right? Give me ones if they got
Almost
the bracket right.
certainly no.
Give me twos if they did not.
Right.
Bracket busted round one. Wild beats K-Corp.
Nah, it's about to be a crazy.
Yeah.
It's about to be a crazy weekend. Honestly, I can't wait.
Oh, the chat does not agree with y'all. The chat
All
said,
right.
y'all
Never
don't know what
agrees.
y'all talking about. Chat, listen, that's why I absolved myself from the conversation. I abstained.
Aha.
I abstained.
That's why I wanted to. I want to read out the teams. We should have had a cheese read out the stream. The teams. That's what we
Yeah,
should have
get me out of here.
Nah, no
we
way.
should've did.
No way. Alrighty, we'll find out on Friday. That happens on Friday. We are 16 minutes above the cable slot. I believe we have somebody else coming on. Wait, do we? I don't think we do, but I think it's our time to get off. I got a final to take. DeMar, close us out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope you guys enjoyed First Touch today. Achieves, thank you so much for being able to join us on the show. It was absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Of course, this has been second or third First Touch show, the spring split. Of course, we appreciate all you guys tuning in, giving your comments, talking about bases do-rag takes, and we're all going to sleep. And me being a fan. We love that all the time. Be able to show us that on Twitter. Of course, you guys were talking about our brackets. We want to see your projected EU Spring Open brackets at First Touch RL on Twitter so we can take a look at those. Of course, big shout outs to everybody who's been working behind the scene. Ben, Sky, Jay, Kier, Chris. You guys are always doing a fantastic job on these shows day in, day out. As well as Ace, who helps us out on the YouTube. Big shout outs to D right there for the stats too. We appreciate all of the additional info that you provide here to make this show much better. And of course, big shout outs to Psionics for allowing us to run this on the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to First Touch. We will see you next week. 1, 2, toodaloo. You guys be safe.